Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Super Bowl Radio Row, and we are taking it to the moon with the legend, Hall of Famer, Mr. Warren Moon. Warren, how are you?
I'm great, Charlie. How you doing today, man? Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, me too. And do you know that last night we had the first full moon of the year, and it was called the Wolf Moon?
I did not know that. I know that I just learned this week that a lot of our sleeping patterns are based off of the moon, and a lot of people that go to sleep on full moon nights don't sleep as long that night for some reason. So the moon has a whole lot to do with our sleeping patterns, according to all these experts who have been doing all this research on sleep.
Interesting. Now, it's funny you say that. Let's say we got a full moon, guys, the night before a big game. You're a man that has played in a lot of big games, won a lot of big games. What was your sleeping pattern like the night before? Or did you have any different rituals you went through?
Yeah, my big sleeping night more than Saturday night was Friday night. That's when I wanted to try and get a really good night's sleep, because Saturday night you normally don't get a good night's sleep.
Right.
For me, I'm visualizing what the game is going to be. I'm visualizing situations, so it's kind of an off and on night for me sleep wise. So Friday night is the big night where I want to get a really good rest, and then go into Saturday rested, and then if whatever I get Saturday night is a bonus going into the game, because I don't feel like I'm going to sleep very good the night before a game.
Okay, so it's Friday, guys. That's when you need to be getting that rest.
Yeah, don't be hanging out in those clubs on Friday night, man. Get the rest.
This is the one time COVID probably provides a good thing. Everybody's going to be well rested and in their rooms.
No question about it. I'm sure they've been well rested all season.
Yeah, especially those Chiefs. Now, who's your pick? Do you have a pick yet? Are you going public with any picks for the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be a great game, as most Super Bowls are. You got a great quarterback in Tom Brady, who's been there. This will be his 10th time and going for his 7th win. And then you've got the repeating championship, or the defending champion, the Super Bowl Kansas City Chiefs, coming back to try and repeat. So I just think Kansas City has a little bit more firepower than Tampa Bay does right now, especially with Patrick Mahomes and all the weapons that he has. Tom Brady has had a tremendous season, but I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I just think Kansas City has a little bit more firepower.
How cool is it for you to see Patrick Mahomes in every part of his game that he brings, his athleticism?
Well, not only that, I think I love, and I'm more impressed with how great a leader he's been in such a short period of time. This guy really has taken this team by the bootstraps and said, "You guys come follow me. I'm going to take you where you need to go." And you can see how he leads emotionally on the field. You can see how he leads when he's in the huddle. And I'm sure throughout the week, and that the way his preparation is, it makes these guys lead as well. So every time you walk on the field with this guy as a Kansas City Chief, you feel like you have a chance to win no matter what the score is. And he showed that last year in the playoffs, getting down 24-0 in a playoff game, coming right back and winning that game. So this is a team that has tremendous confidence in their leader, and that's important going into a big game like this.
Yeah, and I don't think, guys, this will be the last time we see Patrick Mahomes and the boys in a Super Bowl. Now, Warren, one of the big things that we talk about here, and one of the big missions of the NFL alumni, is caring for kids and impacting youth sports. How much of an impact, I know how much youth sports meant to you growing up. How much did it add to your confidence, though?
Just having a chance to be around other kids, first of all, for me, because I grew up in a house where it was 6 girls and only myself. So being around other boys, being around other men who were mentors, a lot of my coaches became my mentors. It really did help my confidence. And being involved in team sports is something that's, I think, good for everybody, whether you are able to advance in the sports or not, because sports teaches you so many good lessons about teamwork, about sportsmanship, about hard work and sacrifice, and all the different things that you're going to be faced with as you go through life. And if you can experience these things at a very, very young age, especially with a large group of people, because you're going to probably be around other groups of people as you grow up in your life, whether it's in the workplace or wherever it might be. These experiences are going to help you deal with those experiences when you get a little bit older. So sports, to me, have been very beneficial, not only for learning all those lessons that you learn, but it's also been very financially rewarding for me because I became successful in the sport.
Absolutely. And one of the you've seen the heights of celebrity that this world has to offer. Did you think, like, as you're rising, as your fame's rising, your recognition's rising, did you realize how big of a platform that was creating for you and how much you'd be able to impact people's lives with that platform?
I really didn't growing up. I think all you see is what you see on television and what you see in the newspapers growing up. Today's a little bit different because of the internet and kids being so exposed to what superstars are and that and more involved in their lives. But all I saw was what the television or what the newspapers allowed me to see. So I never knew being a star had so many different tentacles attached to it. And once I became, a quote unquote star,
No quotes needed.
then I started to figure out, exactly the impact that I could have. And that's when I started to use that impact.
What's something you tell when you talk to young players? What's something you tell them about the importance of getting involved with their communities?
I think it's something that, and I tell them all this all the time, that it's something it's a duty almost that they have, because first of all, the community is really what's helping pay your salary, because it's the people that buy the tickets to the games, that watch it on television. Those are the reasons why you were able to get the salaries that you get. So you should be somebody that wants to give back. And most of these guys come from environments that aren't economically that sound and things like that. A lot of single parent homes, all these different types of situations. You should want to give back to those communities where there are people that you left that aren't doing as well as you, and always never lose sight of the less fortunate. So if you're able to get out and become successful, why not go back in and try and help some others who aren't as successful as you and didn't get the same breaks that you did? So that's kind of what I try to do with my celebrity, is make sure I didn't leave behind the people that kind of helped me get to where I got to, because I wouldn't have become the player if it wasn't for the guys that I played with growing up, the parents that they had that continued to help push me, that made sure I was doing the right things, as well as my own family. When I grew up, our whole neighborhood was like a family. So there were a lot of people that were included in that success that I had and supported me and rooted for me.
It takes a village, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it does.
And you've been a guy that, I mean, you've broken records on the field, but you've also broken records in the financial ballparks of this game, and you've gone on to do great business off the field. When you look back at all the different business ventures and things you've gotten into, what was the best investment you ever made?
Wow. That's a good one. I think the best investment I ever made was starting my foundation when I was a player, because even though it's not something I make money from, I get great joy from knowing what the scholarships and the different things that I do for different charities do for other people, and that's what life is all about making yourself feel good. It doesn't matter if it's feeling good because you're going out to dinner and having a big steak. It doesn't matter if you're going to buy a new car, or if you're able to help another family out that's not doing that well and see the smiles on their faces. Just depends on what makes you happy, and those are the type of things that make me happy, is when I'm able to help make a difference in other people's lives. So probably my best investment was starting my Crescent Moon Foundation, back in 1989, and all the things we've been able to do because of it.
Absolutely. And now this is for all you young ball players, maybe getting your first check. Warren, what was the worst investment you ever made, or the worst purchase you ever made where you said, oh man, I'd like to have that back?
Wow, the worst investment.
Or purchase. Did you blow a lot of money your first check? Like what
I was very frugal when I got my first money, because I never thought that I would ever last as long as I did. You just never know when you get into professional football, how long your career is going to be. So I was very careful with my money, but probably buying a car that I probably didn't need. I think I bought what did I buy? I think I bought a BMW or something like that I really didn't need to buy it, but I just felt like I had to have a fancy car because everybody else did. I mean, it lasted me a while, and it wasn't like it was wasted, But when I look back at it now and say, why did I buy that car when I probably could have drove a car for a car dealership? And I did drive cars for car dealerships for free. Why did I need to pay for an expensive car when I didn't even have to buy it?
There's a gem right there, folks. And I guess, we'll wrap here, guys. Warren, you guys Google Warren Moon Kentucky Derby, you're going to see one of the nicest suits and outfits you ever seen put together. All right. What's your advice? Because we got April, we got the Derby coming back. What is your advice for picking out the perfect Kentucky Derby outfit, and how did yours come about?
I try and think of something different and new every year in a different color scheme if I can. You want to keep in tune with what's in style, but you also want to try and make yourself be a little bit different than everybody else, feel within the style, and so that's what I try and look for. So when I go out shopping, I'm looking for that bright color combination of things that I'm looking for, but then something that's going to set me out apart from others that are there, because you have 150,000 people there that day, and probably another 40,000 of those are dressed to the nines. And you want to make sure you stand out from that. So there's a lot of good looking people on that day, both men and women. So you want to make sure you're at least in the ballpark on the way you're dressed that day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's championship advice right there from the man, Hall of Famer, Mr. Warren Moon. Warren, thank you so much, man.
All right, Charlie, always great talking to you. Thank you.